I can tell you what I know.
Yep.
I've only been here 4 months.
Okay.
However, the guy who was here before has told me plenty of stories, and I've known him for 10 years, so I know what's been going on and what hasn't been going on.
Do you want to set that recording?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's 5 ghosts in here.
5?
2 are attached to this building. The other 3, there's a special name for it, but just visit, and they just come here now and then.
Okay.
There's a guy who comes in here who's like the historian for Old Town. He's told me where they are, who they are, and what they're doing and why they're not here. However, the 3 what visit have not been seen now for about 7 months.
Ah.
Okay, and we think it's something to do with when we had a medium night in here, and ever since that, these 3 have never been here, supposedly. No, I don't know because I've not seen them. In the 4 months I've been here, the only 2 things what have really happened to me is down in the cellar. It was on a Tuesday night, and it felt like somebody just grabbed the back of my neck. Okay, and I thought, what the heck was that? Now, when I started here, the guy who did it before said to me, I don't know what it is, but on a Tuesday night we have problems with the beer. I said, what do you mean? He said, the pressure just goes on the beer. So you can pull in a pint, all of a sudden it just starts trickling out, and then it'll come back. And we've had technical out from Carlsberg and from Punch and all different people, and they've told us nothing. They can't find a fault with it, and it only happens on a Tuesday night. Tuesday night is the night when this girl who was supposed to be right at the top died. So whether it's got anything to do with that, it's just very funny that on a Tuesday that this happens. Okay, sorry, just 1 minute. Hello?
Oh, right. Dishwasher.
Other side of that bar, mate. Just go through there.
What's it doing for you?
Yeah, it ain't doing anything.
Start
You can switch it on. It'll start to fill with water, and then it just trips all my electrics out. And more or less when the heating element's going to come on. That's a bit of nice footage for you. So apparently on a Tuesday, it was a Tuesday night when this little girl died. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I'm being told. And this guy who comes in and contacts them quite regular, has said they spoke to him, that's information
What's
he's got.
he called?
Dave Mooney.
Okay.
He knows everything. He's a very, very clever bloke, and he's in with it all. Now, the other thing I've had happen is shut those doors on the night. There's been 3 darts in that dartboard. Shut those. I've walked back over here, and as I've got to the edge where the dance floor is, a dart has shot out past me and stuck in the floor.
Oh gosh.
Now, darts do pop out of a dartboard because of the pressure, depending where they are. But for it to fly from that distance and come past me, that's the only 2 things what have ever happened on a live. That's a bit strange. I spoke to people that have been here before. I've had people say they've not seen anything. We've had a girl that used to live upstairs who actually moved out because she was just fed up with hearing noises, people going up and down the stairs, nobody being there, and she's just absolutely terrified. We've had Brid ghost hunters in. They've stopped here on quite a few occasions now. They've seen this little girl, and they've also seen a figure right at the top of the stairs, some sort of guy which walks through the wall and disappears. The 5 ghosts what are in here, there's one in the entrance, apparently. Some guy who just stands there, comes and he goes. Up in the restaurant there's a cupboard which he steps down. There's a lad, a youngish lad, early teens, walks through the cupboard and just disappears, doesn't come out anywhere else. He's not been seen that often, but this guy has seen him. And we've also had a customer, just before I started here, who was sat where you were sat before, but sat in the corner, and she ordered a food. And when the food came, and we brought the food down to her, she froze. And she just says, I can't eat it. I thought, what's wrong with the food? It's not that bad, is it? We said, is everything okay? She says, no. She's like, actually, there's too much going on in here. But there were nobody in. So the waitress was like, I don't understand what you mean there's too much going on. She said, there's far too much activity. She says, is this pub haunted? The waitress said, yeah, apparently. She says, I can't stay. We should just go up and win.
What?
So real bizarre was that. So there's definitely things there. We had some paranormal guys in 3 weeks ago. They've come in, they've taken photographs, used flash, and they've had these meters and that. And right at the top again, where this girl is, this is the main top goes to this little girl. There's quite a lot of energy around there, and they come back and there's quite a lot of orbs on the photographs and things like that. So they are coming back. We're going to have a bit of a night where people can come, and we're going to see if we can contact these people and see what we can get to happen. I'm not going to be here.
Thanks, guys.
So So this building was built in 1471, very old building. It was a lord's house. It then became an haberdashery, then became Darley's pub, went back to a house for a short period, and then become a pub again called the Bull and Son. Two lords. One of the lords' symbol was a bull, the other lord, his symbol was a son, and that's how he got Bull and Son. It's the only one in the UK.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Yeah, there's not other. This used to be this building right next door to it, joined onto it as a graveyard, where apparently all the plague victims are buried. And there's a little boy in there who's supposed to haunt that and rattle the gates. And you've got the Bale Gate there, which is the entrance. So this, if you imagine all this used to be built up, and that used to be the entrance through to the Priory, etc. I don't know if it's just because I know it and I've thought it when I've been tired, but there's supposed to be a headless horseman who gallops through there and disappears and comes down by the trees here and just fades away. And on a couple of occasions late at night, I thought, it sounds like there's bloody horses outside, and you've gone out and there's not. So whether that's anything to it or just some sort of other noise, I don't know, but it does sound a little bit like a horse. That's supposed to happen quite regular. Is that? And quite a few customers that have, we've had customers come back and say, sure, I've just seen a bloody horse in there. And I'm like, what? Well, because they've had a drink, they're like, well.
Yeah.
And these people don't know anything about it. They don't know that there's this house in there. So for them to just say that would be a little bit bizarre, and they do seem quite shocked.
Yeah, they have had a few drinks.
Yeah. So anyway, this pub, it dates that, it goes a long way back. There's a real big chamber under here, and there's also a tunnel which leads from here to the Bale Gate to the Priory, where the monks used to smuggle the beer. And then there's also a tunnel which goes from there. You can't get down it now because of all the roadways, which goes down to the harbour as well. So there's a lot going on. But the main ghost and what everybody's sort of seen and experienced is this little girl, which is right on the top floor. Above here is a flat where I live. Above there is another 6 rooms, which used to be the servant quarters. It's derelict up there. We use it as storage. We had a fire 3 years ago here. So up there now it's got a bit of new flooring in, and like the banister has got a bit of plaster and things on it from builders. However, everything's dusty up there apart from this banister. And this little girl, when she's been seen, is always sliding down this banister and smiling, and she just disappears. And then she's there again later on. And it's always clean, and I was like, what a load of rubbish. And I've put dust on there. I've literally gone up and just sprinkled rubbish all over it. And gone back up there a day too late, and it's absolutely perfectly clean. Absolutely, it's like this table. And there's no drafts up there, there's nothing. So what we're thinking of doing is we're going to get the plaster back off of it, we're going to get it all stained up, make it absolutely look brand new again, and we're going to do a few tests on it and have some cameras set up and see what happens. So that's the main one, really.
Sweet. Is there any story behind her, or is it just like she's there?
Well, I don't know how true it is. I spoke to this guy, and the story is that when this was an haberdashery, right at the very top, there's a big door which drops all the way down, down underground. And apparently she fell through that door.
Ouch.
And it's that what killed her. But we don't know for sure. And there's one or two different little stories about how she did it. So again, this is why we're going to have this night and see if we can contact these people. Because apparently they've contacted before and she spoke and then just disappeared. And we're like, oh dear. And it's hard work. So we found a good team, because a lot of these ghost hunters what come are just here for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
These guys are really into it, and the equipment they've got's really good. So they're going to come and see if we can make some sort of contacts and go from there and see what we can find out, really.
Sweet.
Well, I think you've got to believe it. I mean, Tim who's coming in now, he's been here 10 years. He still does a bit here, and he's never seen a thing. But he doesn't believe it. He thinks it's the biggest joke in the world. So if you do, you're never going to experience anything.
That is true, and the more you know, the more you think you see stuff, so
that's it.
Could go either way.
That's it. So whether or not, I'm really not sure, to be honest with you.
Good morning.
Hello, are you alright?
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah. From Leeds, is it Leeds?
Yeah,
Leeds
right.
Uni just come to, they're doing Haunted Bridlington.
Oh, fantastic.
We hear you don't believe in ghosts.
I believe in them if there's money in it.
That is.
Yeah, so there's been one or two stories. There's a guy who, I'm trying to get the footage, he used to have this when not long after the first bit who opened it up as Bud and Son, and he's now moved abroad. He's actually got footage, and it shows a figure moving across.
Oh, wow.
And we've contacted him, and he said he's going to have, he don't know if he's still got it, but he's going to try and get that.
Oh,
but when he was here, he said there used to be a lot of goings on, things happening all the time, and crackers. But the main thing is Tuesday, and again, everybody who comes, and I always seem to get this contact with this little girl. These meetings what come to get this little girl. It was a Tuesday. We had problems with the beer. Everything seems to happen on a Tuesday. So,
wow.
I don't know.
That is a coincidence. Well, not a coincidence. It happens every Tuesday. Isn't
No,
it?
no. I mean, it does as well, and it just drops right off and goes, and it's really bizarre, really. Apart from that, just the odd little things like, especially in my flat, you know, you turn lights off, you think, I'm sure I turn that light off and it's back on, and just nothing major. But whether or not it is, I don't know. I couldn't say.
Fair
couldn't
enough.
say. The main two things is something definitely touched my neck. Definitely 100%. You know, because it wasn't just it was like somebody squeezed your neck and all that. And all off like a rocket, and then obviously the dart. I mean, if you look at the distance there,
Yeah.
for it to fly out. No, and that both happened in the same night, and that was a Tuesday night as well. Because Tuesday night we do the lines, we pull all the cleaning fluid through. So I don't know.
Interesting.
But I can show you sort of the areas where they are.
Yeah, that'd be great. We can get some photos, can't we? Yeah.
You can have a look. And then, like I say, I mean, if you want to come back one night, or when they're doing this, it's going to happen in the next sort of couple of weeks, I would have thought.
Okay.
Have a look. See what you
Sweet.
think. Right, I'll show you where